Good morning. For this week's speech, I wanted to talk about a very significant and eventful moment in my life, and that is the day prior to and also my wedding day. I hope you'll forgive my background here. It's my daughter's playhouse, and I didn't really have anywhere else to put it, so I hope you'll bear with me. My wedding day was really special to me, memorable, unforgettable, due to the fact that my brother was able to come down and be my best man. He lived in Colorado at the time. I lived here in Texas still, and he was able to fly down, take time out of his schedule, and get the time. And it was really, really important to me. The day before the wedding, we had pretty much picked out our outfits, and we're trying to coordinate color and whatnot. He had kind of an emerald undershirt, long sleeve undershirt, collared shirt button up, I believe it was, and mine was kind of burgundy, I guess you could say. And we were looking for ties to sort of, like I said, color coordinate and make the outfit look really good. We went to JCPenney's at the mall there in Arlington, and we're just looking for ties. That was it. We figured we'd be in and out very quickly, and that'd be that. What ended up happening was there was a sale. There was a tie sale, especially. The emphasis of their sale was on ties and accessories, and the salesman was very nice, very cordial, very helpful, and helped us pick out some very nice ties. But to our surprise, it somehow slipped our mind not to check the prices and see how much we were exactly getting off, what percentage we were getting off of the ties, and what they would end up being in the end. So we just walked up to the register and paid for the ties, and the total for 2 ties came out to somewhere in the neighborhood of $170. Me and my brother, we paid and walked out into the parking lot, and we sat down in the car and just sat there for a minute, just thinking to ourselves. I think we kind of had the same thought going through our brain. After a little while, we looked at each other, and I don't remember exactly what we said, but it was something to the effect of, did this really just happen? Did we really just do this? Did we really just pay that much for 2 ties? And we kind of agreed that it'd probably be better just to go to Walmart and get a couple of ties that would get the job done, and still look pretty presentable and save ourselves quite a bit of money, since, I mean, weddings are expensive, and we probably we wanted to save a buck where we could. So we devised this grand plan, this grand scheme, to somehow get back into JCPenney without the salesman seeing us, and return the ties without hurting the salesman's feelings or and just getting in and out. Really surgical procedure. So it ended up happening. We made it back into the store, but one of the first people that we saw was the salesman, and he said, "What are you doing here? Is there something wrong with the ties?" And we came up with an excuse like, "Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but I think we're gonna end up going with tie tacks after all, and thank you for your help." After all, and that was that. That was the end of that little fiasco. That later on that night, we weren't gonna do a bachelor party or anything like that, because we're a Christian household, you know, and we're just not into that kind of crazy thing, you know. No, there's anything wrong with it for anybody else, but we're just personally we not don't go there. So we decided just to get ice cream and a couple beers and get my wife some candy and or wife to be at the time some candy, and that was going to be that. Uh, so we were walking out to the car, and we had parked next to there was sort of a little drainage area, open hole, for lack of a better word, for the drainage in the sewer system or whatever, right next to right off of the sidewalk. As my wife was gonna get into the car, she didn't see it. I guess is all I could say. Just didn't see it, and kind of tripped on the drainage area, and we don't know if she broke her foot or it was a sprain or what exactly it was, but she couldn't walk the next day. Let's just say that. So there was that was part two of our fiasco before the wedding. Was my wife couldn't walk down the aisle by herself. So the next day at the wedding, it was the most nervous I've ever been in my whole life. Of course, I'm totally a wreck, but my wife, who can't walk, is fine, you know, as far as I can tell. And so here she comes. The music starts playing, and here she comes, you know, pretty much limping down the aisle, with my brother-in-law, you know, kind of helping her hobble, and we have to sit her right next to me. She has to sit down. She can't stand for the ceremony. But we got through it, and I guess the point is that it was eventful, it was crazy, it was memorable, but for all of the all of the ridiculousness that ensued in the time prior, it was the best day of my life, and it's definitely something I'll never forget. So that's it for this week, and I hope you enjoyed the story. Take care.